and I got diagnosed with. Hey guys, so I guess this is the start of another lupus update video. This time, oh, that's cats for you. Thanks, Cleo. Thanks, darling. I'm gonna really try this time to not make it an hour long. And oh, she's back. Do you want my attention? Come here. Come here. Come to mommy. Come to mommy. Sit here. Sit here. No. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try and not make it an hour long. I'm gonna only include like a few appointments, not as many as last time. So yeah, I'm not gonna ramble anymore about the last video. This video is starting. So today it is like the middle of May. I'm on an emotional roller coaster. So I saw my GP 2 days ago. Actually, she'd asked to see me, but of course she'd forgotten. She asked to see me 3 weeks ago and I couldn't get to see her until now, so that's why she'd forgotten. But basically, yeah, I went in and she was like, what can I help you with? And I was like, you wanted to see me because of all these neck problems that's leading to more migraines, and you gave me muscle relaxants. I'd ran out and the problem hadn't gone away. She'd said to me originally, 2 weeks on muscle relaxants, you'll get your neck moving and then you'll be fine and the migraines will like lessen again back to my normal amount, which is still too many migraines. And they hadn't. So I called her and I said, look, this is what's happened. And I got an appointment for 3 weeks time, and I saw her and I said, look, it's terrible, it's awful. If I've ever forgotten in these few weeks that I've been on these muscle relaxants, if I've ever forgotten to take one, within like an hour I get a migraine. Like, it's really, really bad. The neck pain is so like deep and just awful, just makes me feel sick. It's the most horrible pain. I really said that I felt like it was like a trapped nerve rather than it being muscular, which I know might not make sense. Why then were the muscle relaxants like pacifying the problem? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't really understand it myself. But my GP said that does actually kind of make sense, because if your neck hurts and it's like muscular and sorry, if it's like skeletal or nerve pain or something, then you'll like tense up and you won't move your neck as much, and then the muscle hurts. So just relaxing the muscle feels like it's easier to move and it all like feeds itself. I was like, fine. Anyway, it's really bad still. She said, well, the reason I wanted to see you is because you can't be on those muscle relaxants long term. They're not something you can have anymore, so you've got to stop taking them. And I was like, what the hell am I going to do? Because literally I've been like bedridden, feeling sick, just constant migraine after migraine. It's just been miserable. And she was like, well, what I want to do is put you on. And then she started naming loads of pills and the type of pill that they are. For instance, you know, you have like painkillers or antibiotics, and or like my lupus meds are anti-malarials. Like, they're a type of pill. She named what type of pill it was. I didn't know what it was. And she said, I think it'll really help. It can be long term, and also it's a treatment option that we give to people with fibromyalgia. So she really thinks I have fibro. She really is convinced that I have fibro. She said, when are you seeing your rheumatologist? Did you get through to him? What happened there? And I said, yeah, he is seeing me in August. That's like as soon as I can see him. But, you know, that's actually not that far away. I've waited far longer for appointments. So she was like, so, okay, that's great. But I think these will really help until then. So take these. Yeah, I think they'll really, really help you. You can be on them long term until we figure out what's wrong. Then she just kind of looked at me like, that's over, that conversation's over. And I was like, okay. So then I said, the other thing is my migraines. I said, last time I saw Dr. Lee, he said that maybe there's someone I could possibly, like, it's awkward. How do you say to your doctor that another doctor is saying that your doctor isn't doing their job and that they should be doing more for you? Like, how do you as the patient say that to them? So I was like, my rheumatologist thinks that, like, my migraines are really severe and wonders if there's anyone you can transfer me to see, refer me to see, that could maybe try out alternative treatment for them other than more tablets. I really don't want to be on more tablets. I really don't want the contraceptive pill. Please don't offer it to me. Not that I said that, but inside I was like, please do not offer me that again. But I said, you know, yeah, I would, because I've heard, you know, that there's acupuncture and Botox and physiotherapy and all these other things that can work for migraines, and I've not been ever offered them. And, you know, I'm on the highest preventative medicine for migraines, which a neurologist gave me years ago because I went through all of the testing and I qualified to have them. So, and I've been on that for years now, like 6 years, and yet I've never been offered anything else. And it wasn't until my rheumatologist said that I was like, yeah, that's really wrong, like, and I got really annoyed. Anyway, so I said this to my doctor as nicely as I could, and she was just like, like, just didn't want to refer me, just literally did not want to refer me. I said, please, like, I'd really love to be referred to someone. I'd really love to have the chance to try other treatments or other ways of dealing with migraines. I tell you what, fill out this headache diary. Bitch, are you for real? A headache diary. I literally did that 7 years ago, 10 years ago. I think 10 years ago. The fact that I did that 10 years ago and I've been on medication ever since, and I have all these different tablets and sachet drinks and stuff that I can take if I get a migraine attack, and yet you want me to fill out another headache form, another diary. This is a waste of everybody's time. You know that I qualify for extra treatment because I'm on preventative medicine, which I have been for years, and I'm on the highest dose. And you also have given me other things to take if I get an attack. Hi, Figgy. Figgy! He's the other side of the camera, rubbing his face on the camera. So, that really... But, like, what else can you do? I've asked directly more than once now in this appointment, and millions of times over the years. And she's saying no. She's saying, you fill this out, we'll see how it goes. She didn't even tell me, like, when to hand it back or anything. Like, it's so infuriating. I just... It goes back to what I said the other day about, like, how frustrating it is that you feel like the people that are meant to be caring about your healthcare and, like, helping you get better just don't care. And you're literally on your own trying to figure things out and cure yourself and make yourself better. And it's just exhausting. Oh, baby. Hi, darling. Hi. So I left that appointment so angry I could cry. I actually did cry on the way home. Just feeling lost and like, what more can I possibly be doing? And they really just want me to live in this hellish state of pain and migraines and all the rest of my problems. So I get home, I'm meant to take these new tablets, 1 on the first day, the day that I'd seen her, 2 on the next day, and then 3 every day after that. I googled them, the name of them, because I had no idea, like, she didn't really explain to me what they were. She just kept saying that she thought they'd help, so I googled it, and it turns out they are originally an epilepsy medicine treatment, but basically they help with the blocking of, like, nerve pain, because that's basically what fibro is. Fibro is when your brain sends, like, the wrong signals to, like, your nerve endings or something, and it makes you feel pain. It's something like that, and to be honest, I haven't looked too much into it because I'm trying not to like worry myself about dealing with a second condition. But that's why these tablets will work, because they like block that nerve ending thing. I don't understand it all. But yeah, I looked it up last night and that's kind of what I found, and it said that it also is used for treatment with people with fibro and other conditions that cause pain, and also for migraines. So I took one yesterday and it made me, my first one, and it made me feel so unbelievably drunk, which it says on it they can make you really drowsy and not to necessarily drive with it. It knocked me out. I fell asleep for 3 hours. I felt so drunk when I woke up. I felt sick and woozy and dizzy and just drunk. Drunk as a skunk. But today, I woke up, I took one. Today's the day I'm meant to be taking two. I've literally just taken my second one. And I can't believe it. Like, I'm praying, touch wood, touch wood, touch wood, that this is not a fluke, that this is not a one-off, that this is not just a big coincidence. Do an example, normally, even when I go to the supermarket, me and Ben normally do our like weekly supermarket shop in 20 to 30 minutes, we're done. We buy all our food for the week, and in one big shop at the beginning of the week, and yeah, it normally takes about 20 to 30 minutes, pushing around the trolley around the shops. And every 5 minutes I'm having to stop, bend over to stretch out my back, because my back is just one of the worst things. Like, I have to like do loads of stretches in the aisles. Sometimes I have to use a wheelchair or a mobility scooter. Sometimes I just can't do it and I just sit on a bench and wait for Ben, but I just go to get out of the house, which sounds so sad and pathetic, but this is the life of an ill person. You know, if you haven't been out in days, you'll take any opportunity to just go out, like leave the room you've been stuck in for days or weeks. Anyway, so that's the way I am. I've been trying to move more since my discussion with my rheumatologist about exercise. So there's a field near our house. I walk there, and the first bench that you get to, I have to sit down. I can't walk any further. I'm in absolute agony. I have to stretch. I have to wait for it to ease off. Hey, I didn't have to bend over and stretch out my back or do lunging and stretching and once. Not once. Like, I want to cry. Like I'm getting emotional because, and I said this earlier to my mum and my boyfriend, because that's who we went with. I have not been able to spend a day out and about, like on my feet, doing things in years. Literally years. Like, and I was achy, but there wasn't like severe, oh my god, I'm dying, it's going to reduce me to tears, extreme pain that I have had every single day for the last 3 years. And today I didn't have that. Like, I'm actually mind blown. I got really emotional multiple times today. I'm sure my mum and my boyfriend got sick of me because I kept saying, guys, I can't believe it. Like, look at me go. I'm still walking. I'm not in a wheelchair. Like, what is happening? And even now, it's like, it's now 8 o'clock. We came home. We bought a load of plants for the garden, basically. We were like overhauling our garden, which we've been doing since we moved in bit by bit. But you know how expensive flowers are? Expensive. And trees, it's a lot. We have a big garden as well, but we really want it to be filled with flowers and colour and just foliage and loveliness. So yeah, we bought a lot of flowers, and I'm not saying I could help move the trees that we bought because I couldn't, but the little like pots, I helped bring a few of them to the back, and then I sat outside on a garden chair, and whilst Ben like did some deadheading and some watering of the garden, and I was like, how am I, normally I would have had to come straight in after a day this long, lay on the sofa, stretch out, and I would have fallen asleep. I would have been dead done for the day, done for the rest of the week actually, probably. And I'm saying this now and I don't know how I'm going to wake up feeling tomorrow. I could wake up being dead tomorrow because of today. I really don't know that, but I just am in shock at how different I've felt today. I have not felt this way in years, so I can't even explain how strange and amazing and confusing this is. I pray that this is not a one-off and that this is actually going to work. That this tablet and me having fibro, which sounds so weird to be like, oh, I pray that I have a second condition. But the way that I looked at it was the same way that I looked at it when I found out I had lupus. And everyone was like, yeah, but you don't want to hope you have lupus. And I was like, no one's hoping they have a disease. But if I have it, I've had it. You know, I've been living with it already. And that's not going to change. It's not like I woke up today and had it. So same with fibro. They're saying that I could have had it for this whole time. So I could have been living with this for 3 years untreated, doing all the wrong things for that particular condition because I just thought I just had lupus. But actually, in fact, I could have both and could need different treatment, different ways of dealing with it, different ways of coping, different ways of helping myself that I've not been doing because I've not known. So to me, I'm not wishing for it, but if it turns out I have it and this tablet is like the key and this is how I'm going to feel, it's going to change my life. It's really going to change my life. So I feel so happy and grateful and exhausted, don't get me wrong, the fatigue is real. But I can't believe it, like... I can't believe it. I didn't realise how much I truly thought that I would never have a day where I could spend all day out and not be in agonising pain. Having a day like today has made me realise that I had convinced myself, for the sake of my own well-being and mental state, that my life forever would probably be wheelchairs and pain and struggling and not being able to do much and having to pace myself always and not going back to being how I used to be or who I used to be. I spent a long time trying to accept that, and then to have today, it's a lot. It's going to take me like a while to process this, and if I feel this good again tomorrow, I'm just going to cry all day, I think, because I can't believe it. I'm going to go, but I needed to tell you that, and I needed to fill you in, and I'll keep filling you in, but hopefully not for an hour. I'll split it up this time. Yeah, I'll see you all soon. Hey guys, so just a little lupus update. I am really unwell. I've got a fan on in the background, so I'm really sorry if that's annoying or loud, but it's legit 30 degrees in my house right now, and that is too much for me. So the thing I wanted to update you on was I had a pretty big appointment at the sleep hospital recently, and yeah, I just wanted to talk about that and what's going to happen with that moving forward. So it was unexpected because I honestly thought I was going to be in and out in like 2 seconds, but I was in there for a really long time with the doctor, and also it wasn't my normal doctor, but he was really nice, and he is going to be my doctor moving forward. He kind of explained to me that you can't just be a sleep doctor, you have to like be a specialist doctor in something else and then do the sleep study stuff. So the doctor I was originally under was a respiratory doctor because I'd initially got put there for sleep apnea tests, but now we know I don't have that. He's passed me over to this doctor, and this doctor is actually a psychiatrist. And yeah, the appointment was tough. He obviously didn't know anything about me. It is frustrating when they don't read like all of the notes and you've got to go right back to the very beginning with them, but that's what I had to do. So I did, and I like told him all of my problems, and then he asked about my lupus and about many other of my health problems, and then we got really deep into my mental health problems. If you want to know more about that, go and watch my mental health video, but it was the first time in like maybe even like a year or something, like a really long time, that anyone had spoken to me, like a doctor had spoken to me in depth about my depression, anxiety, or my eating disorder, and like my suicidal thoughts and all that kind of thing. No one had, I hadn't had that brought up to me in so long. So when he started like asking questions about it, I was really quite taken aback, and maybe that was stupid of me, maybe I should have expected that, but I didn't. And also him being a doctor that I'd literally just met, and then we got straight into that, kind of knocked me for six. I came out of the appointment and cried. I actually was really unwell on the day of the appointment as well. I had a real bad migraine and really bad car sickness. The hospital is nowhere near my house, actually that day, because at the time it took us 2 hours in the car to get there, which is an absolute nightmare, but I have no other choice because it's the only place I can go. Yeah, so we spoke all about that, and then it made me also quite emotional because he was just being really nice to me, which sounds, again, maybe stupid, but he was just like, wow, you've been through so much and you are so brave and so strong, and let's help like fix this last piece of the puzzle when it comes to like your mental health, because I said in there that I obviously recognise that getting no sleep is like terrible for me. Hi baby. Every time I talk about my mental health in a video, you want to be in it. Hi. He just knows. He's just my little emotional support animal. Aren't you, Figgy? My sweet boy. Sweet boy. No. No. I've got you propped up on some cushions, and he literally looked like he was just going to jump up on the cushions then and knock the camera over. Oh! Fig! Fig, no. No, baby. Move. Move. Crazy cat. No. Okay, come here. Or I'm going to have to hold you for the rest of the video. Crazy. Where was I? Fig! No, that's it. That's it. He's doing it now because he knows he thinks I'm laughing and it's fun. It's all fun and games. Don't do it again. No more. No more. My cats are not disciplined. No more, please. Okay, yeah, he just was saying all that kind of thing, and like, yeah, sorry, that's what I was saying. I acknowledge that, like, when I've gone without sleep for like a long period of time, which I know I'm going to coming up because my boyfriend is working an extreme amount of nights again soon, and it's not that I don't like being alone at night, because I'm fine, but it's that almost every single night without fail I experience my parasomnia stuff. So I hallucinate, I see really terrifying things, I hear stuff, it wakes me, I sleepwalk and talk, and when he's here, sometimes it's not even that I need him to like comfort me, but just that when I like come round, or I can try and like talk myself round. It's so hard to explain because it sounds like, well, if you're truly asleep, how can you talk yourself around? But I'm like in this weird in-between state. But basically, yeah, I can like look at him and be like, it's fine, like you're not alone, like he's here, nothing's gonna happen. But when I'm home alone, it just takes me a lot longer to come round and calm down. And the stuff that happens in my sleep is like really extreme, so going through that like night after night alone is just awful. So I end up just not sleeping because I know that that's going to happen, and I'd rather not sleep. I think subconsciously my mind just goes, okay, well, let's not sleep, rather than go through that again. So I don't sleep. So like the last time he was on a really big period of nights, he's doing it again, I ended up going like a whole 48 hours without a wink of sleep. So I'm kind of dreading that, especially because I'm in this terrible flare-up of my lupus. But it's one of those things, and I said that to him, and he was like, exactly, like, of course it will affect your mental health. It's not good for anyone to be like without sleep, and it's not good for your physical health problems either. So let's get you treatment. And he was really amazing. He called in another doctor and explained all of my health problems and what we'd talked about, and was like, she's done so much work for herself and like come so far. I really want her to get fast tracked. Like, I really don't think she should have to wait. Like, she's going through so much, and she has so many like physical health problems that, you know, she's dealing with as best she can, but they are what they are. Like, you know, my lupus is what it is. I can't have any more treatment for that at the moment. He was like, so let's fix this for her. And the other doctor was like, yeah, absolutely on board, like I'll squeeze her into one of my groups. So basically in a couple of weeks I start treatment. I go there once a week for 5 weeks, and it's like an hour and a half long sessions in groups of I think 10 maximum. And I have no idea more than that what it is, but I've been told it's really hard. Because also, like, if you watch my mental health video, you'll know that I've actually been like not in a good place mentally either, because of how unwell I am. Another update, I had an ENT appointment, which is ears, nose and throat, which was just an absolute nightmare, and again like pushed me over the edge. I came out and was so angry I cried again, and like, it's just, I'm just so fed up. When you're as ill as I am, to then constantly see like useless doctors, it's like the most extremely disheartening thing you can go through as a person. And yeah, I went in and they did a full ear test on me, hearing test, and then she kept talking about my hearing, and I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not actually here for my hearing, like, do you know that? Like, not that I wanted to say like, do you know that, but do you know that? I'm actually here about my rhinitis and chronic rhinitis and sinusitis, because I want to have the surgery that I previously turned down. That's what I told my doctor, and that's why I asked to be referred and why I got referred. And she was like, oh, we have here that it's about your hearing. And I was like, nope. But great that there's another mess up and that everyone's confused, yay. And then the doctor who I saw afterwards, because that was the one that just did my hearing test, the one that I saw afterwards that was actually like running the appointment, was just really rude and awful, and like, really, I hate this, I'm like, stay in your lane. But I went in and she was like, what health problems do you have? And I listed them, and then she was like, so, how did she word it? It was really odd. Why did you get diagnosed with lupus? And I was like, because I have it. What do you mean? I was like, yeah, I literally said because I have got lupus. And she was like, no, but what made you think you had it in the first place? And I was like, well, I was in a lot of pain and I had the rash and like all the symptoms. And she was like, as if like she didn't believe me or think that I have it, which I come across a lot. Like, most doctors I come across have never even heard of lupus. Like, they don't even know how to spell it. It's so frustrating. And she was very much like that. And then she just wanted to get rid of me. Ben even said, like, how can you look up someone's nose as quickly as she did and see anything? She literally was like, can I look up your nose? And I was like, yeah. And she went, yeah. She basically palmed me off and shooed me out with saying that I'll get a letter referring me for a CT scan, which I've done all this before, but she said because it's been so long. She also tried to make it out like that was my fault. Oh, well, you haven't come and seen us in so long. No, I tried. I had my appointments cancelled twice, and normally they're 6 months away, so I wait 6 months, and then the week before it got cancelled, and then I waited another 6 months, and then it got cancelled, and then I just never heard back. And then at the time I'd got really unwell, so that leads me to now, and now I'm asking to see someone again, so it's not my fault. But I had the CT scan before, which is to look for polyps, like in your sinuses, which I don't have. Well, I suppose I could have them now, but that's what it was looking for before, and it came back clear. So basically I'm starting completely from scratch, which is just wonderful. She didn't have a clue about any of my sinus problems. It was like a waste of time, so that was really annoying. I've had a load of blood tests done recently. Oh my god, I feel like I should do a story time about my blood test. Let me know if you want a story time about my blood test where the nurse started talking to me about her best friend's sex life. I shit you not. I swear to god, that's what happened. So if you want to see that video, let me know. Why do I come across these people? Seriously, I do, everywhere I go. I feel like I just lived at hospitals at the moment. I've got my rheumatology appointment coming soon. I'm really nervous about that. Look at my poor bruised arm where she did my blood test. She like stuck it in and then wiggled it round and then went down, and oh, it was just painful. I think that's about it for today. So I don't know, I never know if this is going to be the end of the video. So if this is the end of the video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you again soon. Bye. Hey guys, so you're currently set up on my desk, on my dresser, and I'm sat on the floor. It's been a weird couple of days. In fact, yeah, I literally thought that what I was about to talk about happened yesterday, but it didn't. It happened 2 days ago. So, I had my big rheumatology appointment that I'd told you guys about, and yeah, I went 2 days ago and saw my rheumatologist and explained everything I wanted to explain, and I got diagnosed with fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia. Still don't really know how I feel about it. Like, I mean, that appointment was like so much information that it like blows my head off anyway, but he did the test with the like pressure points on my body, and that teamed with everything that I told him and what my GP had said, and the fact that I've been on nerve blockers and they're working, all led to him saying, like, yeah, that's what it is, you have fibro. So now I have fibro as well as lupus. And I say that as if that's just happened, but obviously it hasn't. I've had it the whole time I've had lupus, but just didn't know. Good girl. Yeah, and it was a weird one because I expected to feel happy, which sounds weird, but I was expecting to feel like, well, I kind of already knew this. Lots of people have said it to me, as in doctors, and at least that explains why I'm feeling the way I do, and so now I can get treatment, and that's great. That's how I felt when I finally got diagnosed with lupus, but I didn't feel that way. I felt really sad and sorry for myself and overwhelmed. I just kept going round and round in my head with how have I gone from like literally perfect health to lifelong illnesses in the space of 2 years. It just is really a lot for a person to deal with and come to terms with, and it's confusing, and yeah, I don't know. I'm still processing it, and so I maybe will update this in a while when I have because the first thing that my best friend and my boyfriend both said to me was, you need time to process this, like give yourself a few days, because I'd already jumped into like looking up treatments and looking up fibro and learning about it, and yeah, they both said to me, just take some time to compress what you've been told and like to take it all in before you rush into all of that. Like, you've got forever to do all of that, don't worry about that for now. And they were right, but it's just who I am. So I'm upping my dose of my nerve blockers. I'm downing my dose of lupus meds, which is because of my bloods. My bloods aren't reflecting like how unwell I feel, which happens a lot in lupus anyway, so it stresses me out, because my rheumatologist, whilst I think he's great, does seem to put like all of the emphasis on the blood tests, and I get that that's like a difficult place for a doctor to be, because I'm sure he can't just give me like hard drugs without anything to back it up other than what I'm telling him. I'm sure that's not the way it works. I'm sure he has to have tests to back it up. Maybe he doesn't, I don't know, I'm just guessing. So I get that, but I know that lupus, like it says everywhere you read it, that lupus, sometimes your bloods can be fine when you're not fine, so it's just all confusing. And now it's like trying to learn what's my fibro and what's my lupus. Like, when I feel something, which one is it? Because they have different treatments. So it's just a lot. And I'm being referred for physio, which I'm excited about, but then I looked it up, the name that he gave me of it, and it made me less excited, because it was all people saying how it doesn't work for people with fibro. I'm not going to take that in. I'm trying to just stay positive. I'm trying to stay positive and just be excited for physio, be excited to try anything new, and just not go there yet about like, let's just wait and see. If it's crap, it's crap, and I'll tell them. But I'm not gonna like get myself down with worrying about that before we get there. Even like sitting here talking about it again, I can feel like the life being sucked out of me, because it's just so depressing, and just feel really sorry for myself. So I don't know, maybe I need to do this another day. I got really frustrated in the appointment and afterwards, because I had gone in there with a real intention of drilling it into him how unwell I actually am, because I don't feel like he gets it sometimes, and especially the last time I saw him, he definitely didn't. With what he wrote in his letter to my GP was like he was describing someone else. So I said that to him, and I told him how unwell I am, and then he kept making statements, and it was like so annoying. He made this one statement where he was like, oh no, because if your like lupus was severe right now, you would you'd have like bald patches from hair loss, you'd have swollen joints, and your mouth would be full of ulcers. And I was like, I have all of those things. Literally right now I have all of those things. What? And he was like, oh no, I mean you'd have them consistently. And I was like, but I do have them consistently. Like, I don't know, what are you meant to do though once you've told them twice that you do? And he goes and just turns back around to his computer. Like, what are you actually meant to do? It's so awkward. And even like I would watch this and be like, you should have just kept saying it, or you should have told him to listen. And it's easy to do that, but like when you're in there, it's so awkward. I've said it twice and you're still not listening. Like, what am I meant to do? Like, so I still don't think he got how unwell I truly am. I still don't think he understood it. It's really frustrating and upsetting, but I don't know what else I can do about that. Look at this mess. Hi Homer. Yeah, I don't know what I can do about that really. What can I do? Like, if I've told you multiple times in the appointment, I don't know where else to go from there if you're still not listening. Like, I really don't. So it's really frustrating feeling like you're not being heard, and yeah. I'm going to leave it at that for now. Maybe I'll film more about the appointment and what was said and stuff, but I've just realised, sitting here talking about it, that I need more time to just let it sink in, because I can feel myself getting stressed and like overwhelmed just sitting here describing it. So yeah, I'm going to take some more time.